Hi, my name is Yasmin Sarwar and I'm the Chief Education Officer at Oxford International College. Welcome to OIC today, and today we're going to be talking about how to get into top universities for competitive courses. But first of all, let me share with you the academic success at OIC. In 2018, we topped the league table in the England, for A-level results, and in 2019 we topped the league table in the UK with 93% A star to A grades. In 2020, of course, no exams have been sat, but we achieved 98% A star in our calculated assessed grades. So we are the top school in the UK. I'm also very proud that I'm the founder of two top schools in the UK, and both my schools are number 1 and number 2 in the league table as the top independent school. Now, more importantly than academic results are actually our university destination. And this is really important because university destinations for competitive courses at some of these top universities require a greater barrier, and they don't just look at academic results. So in 2019, for example, 100% of success rate into medical schools, 60% of our cohort had progressed to G5 universities. So G5 are Cambridge, Oxford, Imperial, UCL, LSE. 25% success rate to Cambridge and 100% success rate to Russell Group universities. 75% of our students achieved A star, AA or better in their A-level exams. In 2020, overall G5 university success rate was around 60%. 50% of students got into Oxford. UCL success rate for all courses was around 85%. Imperial success rate overall was around 55%. And LSE 62%. More importantly, if you look at our university destination report in 2020, our students were not just gaining places at top universities in the UK, but worldwide under our Global Strategic Pathway program, which enables our students to apply strategically to a lot of universities worldwide, top universities worldwide. And all these universities will require different nuances. Applying to US will be different to applying to Australia. It will be different to applying to Canada or Ireland. And that's the beauty of our program, that not only we are looking at application to the UK, but we're looking at integrating application worldwide within their time at OIC. And each one of these have different nuances, but the students will receive support, and this will be all integrated into the curriculum. And we also evolve with the students their planning, not just at university, but beyond university, also in terms of where they want to work. We had students, for example, we had a girl this year, who had offers to all to universities in the UK, but had decided to apply to Japan because she wanted to work in Japan. And that is something that we really love to develop with our students. We have students applying for scholarships from different organizations around the world. Again, planning about not just the course that they're taking, but also what happens after they graduate. You know, we have students, for example, who are planning right now with us in terms of their master's and PhD, or which country they would like to go to work. You know, that's the beauty of being able to evolve that thought process. I would also like to share a little bit about myself. My name is Yasmin Sarwar. I'm the Chief Education Officer at Oxford International College. I started my journey as a building a tuition center from my home. I came to this country as an international student and went on building a successful school that went on to become the top school in the UK. And my former school now is number 2 in the league table, and Oxford International College is now number 1, which has been great that both of my institutions, both of the formula, the methodology that I started off with has really worked and has proven to be what we call as the winning formula. I also sit on interview panels as well at some medical schools in the UK, but more importantly, besides being a teacher of chemistry and biology, I've also spent my almost 20 years of my career on building students' university strategy, and that's been really, really important. I take great great pride, not just the academic excellence of getting top grades, but more importantly, it's the progression of the students' journey in their lives has been very, very important. In 2011, I won the Best Science Tutor of the Year award, and I received the award from David Cameron, who was the Prime Minister at that time. In 2015, I won the Welsh Women of the Year award, and I also received the Kleist Nobel Educator of Distinction award given by the Nobel family, and I did a TEDx talk about education and the pathway of education in 2016. As I mentioned earlier, I take great pride in my university admissions record. Over the last 9 years to 10 years, we've sent around 250 students to Oxford, Cambridge, LSE, Imperial, over 350 students to medical school, and majority of these numbers have been for international students. And I think it's very important to mention that, because the barrier for international students to get into top universities due to the volume of application and the greater competitive rates has been phenomenal. So therefore, these numbers of students getting into these top universities is absolutely phenomenal. And to be part of all these students' journey has been fascinating for me, because I have seen how they've grown in confidence, where some of these students probably would have underwritten themselves, and yet they've been really successful in achieving these placements. I would like to share some stories with you. So how do you get into top universities? So first of all, I would like to explain that from the very outset, the most important thing is to ensure that you are doing the right subjects. And at OIC, from the time students apply to the college to the time they get enrolled, even if they're not physically enrolled yet, we provide that support to ensure that you're choosing the right subjects according to your career choices or course choices at universities. And we provide that career counseling, because the career development, as I said, it's as important, if not more, than just achieving academic results. So when you are at the stage when you're looking to apply to top universities, what are the things that the top universities are looking for? First of all, obviously you have to have the right subjects, and then they obviously look at your academic results, and they look at your academic results that you've achieved so far. So that would be any qualifications that you've gained prior to your A-levels. That's the first thing that they would look at. They would look at any qualifications that you've taken whilst you are in your sixth form, for example AS, and they will look at predicted grades, which is really, really important. Again, the predicted grades has to come with very strong validation of your performance prior to your predicted grades. So it's really important for those of you in year 10, year 11, do as well as you can in your GCSEs or IGCSEs or whatever qualifications you're taking in your countries. It's really important to demonstrate that you are performing well even at that stage if you're looking at top universities. But regardless of what your academic backgrounds are, it's also really crucially important to demonstrate trajectory. As I've described to you, I've shared with you stories of students who perhaps in other institutions or in by themselves, they would have underwritten themselves because of their prior background. But again, if you demonstrate trajectory, you could still get to the place or the courses that you want to do. So besides your academic excellence, they're also looking at admission test and interview. And of course, your personal statement and your whole UCAS application has to be strategically sound and really, really competitive. In terms of admissions tests and interview, now these are the things that are setting very high barriers, because they can ask you anything under the sun. You have to be a thinker, you have to be able to think outside the box. You have to be able to, think on your feet and be able to respond to complex problem-solving questions. And this requires a different level of training or educating yourself. It's not the same as just reading the textbook and doing lots of past papers and gaining results in your exams. This is above and beyond what you will be learning in your academic curriculum. which is why the supercurricular element is really, really crucial. So alongside with the academic curriculum, we have a supercurricular department. The supercurricular department is basically all the things that will demonstrate the passion, your passion on what you want to do at university and beyond. And the strands in the supercurricular builds from anything in terms of those evidences. For example, wider reading outside of your curriculum, work experience, voluntary work, admissions test training. So again, very much lateral, being able to think outside the box, lateral thinking skills. What we call is higher order thinking skills, so not just relying on textbook material. Also doing things like writing analytical task, for example, analytical writing, those kind of things which can really enhance, taking part in competitions, doing projects, all these things that you can talk about in your interview, but also build your knowledge and skills bank to be able to answer questions in the admissions test and the interview. So those two things are becoming really, really important. That's why people like Jimmy, people like Peldon, people like Erind, for example, who perhaps would not have had the opportunity to get into these top universities based on their prior academic background, were able to demonstrate their passion. They were able to demonstrate their skills in the admissions test and interview, and those are the things that got them through the line. So it's not how you start your journey from when you start your A-level, but actually how you end that process and how you go through that journey is really, really important. So that gives you, I hope that gives you some context. So because I teach chemistry and I love formulas, I like to share with you what it takes in terms from a formula point of view, what it takes to get into these top universities. First of all, basically your university admissions test. Secondly, your interview. I would say these two things have equal weighting. The third thing will be pre-offer matrix, so things like your IGCSE O-level results or GCSE results or any form of qualification. Even if you don't come from a country which has a qualification before A-level, that could be your high school transcript. Your predicted grades, your teacher's reference, personal statement, these are called pre-offer matrix. So university admissions, interview, pre-offer matrix, 1 + 2 + 3 gets you the offer, and then you have to meet the conditions of your offer, which is normally the grades set. And again, conditional offers are normally A star, A star A, or A star AA, or 3 A's. I have very rarely come across offers where they've asked for straight A stars. So again, the academic is only a byproduct of that whole process. It's not the thing that we should be vying for only. So it's really important. I meet a lot of families who say they've had, 5 A stars in their A-levels, 10 A stars in GCSEs, but yet have not succeeded in getting offers to medical school. So whilst that demonstrates that the student can really just study well and get fantastic grades, it does not demonstrate the student have done well in their admissions test or interview. So it has to be given equal importance, if not more. So that's really important in terms of the winning formula, as we call it. And that's what at OIC we have this integrated curriculum of academic excellence with the supercurricular department, which really underpins the career development for the students. So what type of student are we looking for? We're obviously, as a school, we're a small school, we are selective. We're not a recruiting school, we're a selecting school because of the achievements that we've had has given us an opportunity to be able to put ourselves on the global map as a top school in the UK. However, I'm very interested in students who really want the best for themselves, who really are ambitious and who really want to try a challenge. And for that reason, I would say you should, if you're looking to apply to OIC, then please do so. You would be going through quite a stringent process of taking admissions test as well as online reasoning test and your school report, as well as an interview. But more importantly, what that allows you to do is make an attempt, come out of your comfort zone, try it out, and we will always give you advice. Even if you're not successful at OIC, we would still give you advice in terms of what you should be doing next. For example, we have given advice in terms of the right subjects. It could be because you're doing the wrong subjects. It could be because you need to do 1 year of GCSEs instead of applying to A-level. So there could be lots of different reasons. But I would urge you to put an application in, but also more importantly, understand the kind of environment and the kind of programs that we're offering, because this is really a lifestyle choice. Because what we're sort of pushing is for you to discover your passion. We're not running the school like a normal routine program and you come and do what you're told. That we expect as a minimum for you to be a good student, but we're also hoping that by the time you leave the college you will become a wow student, where you'll be able to listen to your heart and your head, both, very, very important. And that's what the journey will be like here. There will be a lot of work, obviously, but at the same time you'll be enjoying that process throughout, because you'll be learning something new each day, and I think that makes it unique and different. So just to explain to you some of the programs that we do at the college. First of all, our umbrella program is the Strategic Global Pathway Program, and this program enables us to plan with the students not just of getting into university, but also beyond university. And that's what we call it, a Strategic Global Pathway Program, and hence why our students don't just apply to UK universities. They apply to universities all around the world, depending on the course, depending on the place that they would like to be trained after they graduate, and perhaps maybe they have an idea of where they want to live. We have students, for example, who have had offers in the UK but have chosen to go to Japan because that's where they want to train and live. We have students applying to Australia, Canada, Ireland, Hong Kong, Singapore. So this is a fantastic program where students can apply to all these places in parallel, all that happening within their sort of curriculum. But more importantly, they're given that support to be able to think widely and broader in terms of what they want to do, and not just the immediate sense of going from sixth form to university, but beyond university as well. Now, of course, all these different pathways requires different nuances in terms of their strategy, and that's what we do at the college to make sure that they have all those strands built in. So just to recap a little bit about the curriculum, as I mentioned, the 3 pillars of success and the integrated curriculum are based on academic excellence, career development and personal development. Our academic excellence, you've seen our track record in terms of our results. We have fantastic teachers here who have all come mostly from top universities themselves, so they can really share their journey with our students, because there's obviously going to be ups and downs through this process. This is a process which requires a high emotional risk here, because the students are putting a lot of effort and time in order to pursue their dream. But what makes it really interesting is that we are supporting them throughout this whole stage, and I think that's really crucial. Most importantly, they're building their confidence to be able to try something new, try something different out of their comfort zone, and that makes a huge difference in their whole journey. The second part of it is the career development, which is very much underpinned by the supercurricular element, and the supercurricular element is very broad. It provides the students the ability to be able to choose and select the programs and activities they would like to take part in, but it's done strategically to the choices of courses and careers they would like to take part. And students can change their mind anytime. We had a girl who came in saying she wanted to do medicine, and 6 months, because of the program, changed her mind to engineering, but she got into Cambridge for engineering, which tells you that the strategy is the same. The discovery of the passion is more important. The strategy then can be blended in based on that discovery. And that's really crucial in terms of making sure that the career and university preparation is blended in with the academic excellence. from an academic excellence point of view, for example, we offer 6 days a week of it's a 6-day program where the students do what we call a skit Saturday testing, and they get tested on all the subjects, and from that testing, from that assessment, we're able to identify areas where they need support. So this is done very, as soon as the students start at the college, we start off that whole process of identifying the support that they need through a very methodological system. For example, we can identify why they've made mistakes in their test. For example, it could be based on lack of revision, lack of understanding, or lack of technique. And from those identification, we're able then to be able to provide them very directed support, and that makes a huge difference in their performance. We had a student who came in last year. In the first term, she struggled with chemistry because she hadn't covered a lot of those components in her country. There were different curriculum, and after a term she was getting A's in chemistry purely because of a very systematic methodology of ensuring that not only the delivery is fantastic, but also the tracking and monitoring of the assessments is always dealt with on a weekly basis, and we identify those problems straight away. So it's a 6-day curriculum. We offer more hours per subject than most other institutions because the teaching contact time is really important for our students to be able to be provided that guidance. But at the same time, like all our teachers have all come from top universities themselves, so they can really share that journey with the students. So that's in terms of our academic excellence. In terms of our supercurricular department, our career development area, again, the students are given the different strands where they can pick up the different programs that they want to do and blend in with their academic learning, which makes academic learning far more interesting because the students are not just concentrating on textbook reading, but they're going and sitting in lectures at Oxford University. They're doing projects, competitions, wider reading, they're writing blogs about their experiences, and that makes learning a lot more interesting. So it's not just coming to school to follow routine, it's beyond a routine. And that, I think, is how we make wow students and not just good students who are just doing what they're told. And that makes a huge difference. Now, the third aspect of it is personal development. Of course, personal development is crucial so that they can balance things around and make sure that they pick things that really interest them, and more importantly, come out of their comfort zone. So for example, our students take part in philosophy classes, they take part in computational thinking classes, all these things again to enrich their mind, but also they take part in music or they do sports, for example, or take part in arts just to de-stress themselves, and they have that balance. Very important at OIC is our welfare department. Now, welfare creates that yin and yang balance, and again, because these students are surrounded by teachers who have come from top universities, and also they have access to mentors from Oxford University. Our supercurricular program within the timetable is around 10 hours a week of enrichment activities that they do, and the access to Oxford University mentors is fantastic because again, they're able to familiarize themselves and go through, because the very same people have gone through the same journey as they're undertaking. So being able to share that journey, being able to understand that journey, that yin and yang balance of welfare as well as the academic enrichment is very, very important. And that is basically our integrated curriculum. More importantly, I think, the students would not be achieving these results if they weren't happy. And that's crucial, but we also believe that happiness is about how we grow their confidence, how we ensure that they're given that platform to be able to at least make an attempt to apply to these universities and give it a go. And we've seen all these students, when they make an attempt and if they don't get into Cambridge, they're getting into Imperial or LSE or UCL, which are equally extremely very good universities, and I think that makes a huge difference. So just to recap on our the three most important elements in terms of the journey of a student at OIC are discovering, firstly, number one, discovering their passion, secondly, ensuring that they build up the evidence for their passion, and number three, being strategical in their overall application. And those three things are equally important, and the passion, the evidence for the passion or the strategy, really the academic result is a byproduct of that. It's only one aspect of that application, and that's where the supercurricular element, the career development, has to be treated in parallel, equal to the academic excellence, not as an ad hoc development, but actually an equal weighting has to be given to career development as well as the academic excellence. Just to also share with you in terms of what programs that we actually offer at OIC, our umbrella program is the Global Strategic Pathway, as I explained earlier on, where students can apply to universities all around the world, and we ensure that all the different nuances are catered for within an integrated curriculum. And the qualifications that we offer under this umbrella program are the A-level qualifications. We do the 2-year A-level program with the September intake start. We also run the January intake start, which is an 18 months intensive program. It's intensive only for the first 6 months because they start in January and they have exams in May. But most importantly, the students are not having to catch up or to learn any of the materials themselves, because we separate the academic groups so that they will, whilst it's intensive, they are learning from the very beginning. And that's the beauty of our January intake. In fact, I would say our January intake tend to actually do very, very well in both their academic excellence as well as their university destination. And from the very start of their application process, we ensure that students are choosing the right subjects. They're given career counseling. So when they apply to the time when they actually arrive physically, they already gain support from the college. So for example, we would set up progress tutor meetings with the students whilst they are in their home countries, or they are before they arrive to the UK, or for our day students it would be the same, or for our local students. As well as ensuring that the students not just look at the right subjects, but also their career and their course, whether they do 5 subjects, 4 subjects, or they choose the right subjects, is really, really important. And then we also ensure that that they're given summer tasks as well. So before they arrive physically to the college, they're given tasks, they're given reading list. So they're already given a lot of support. We already have a lot of interaction with the students before they arrive. So that's in terms of our A-level program. We have now a growing number of students in our GCSE year 11 cohort who are here for a 1-year intensive program, and our aim is that that all our students in our GCSE would progress to our A-levels. There is a progression policy, there are requirements, academic requirements, but our aim is that all our GCSE students would benefit from the same climate and the same exposure as our A-level students. And the most important thing for our GCSE program is, unlike other institutions, we're actually asking our students to take 8 subjects, which makes their application very competitive at the time when they apply to university. Again, we're giving them the same platform of success as we would do for our A-level students. So those are the qualifications that we offer. Our students also take other qualifications should they be looking to be applying to other universities worldwide. So for example, if they're looking to apply for US universities, they will be doing the SATs, ACTs, or if they're looking to apply to Hong Kong, for example, they will be taking a native language along with their A-level subjects. So we have all these nuances built into their integrated curriculum. Hi, so just to share with you how a student's journey at OIC would be like. So we've talked a lot about the academic excellence and all the support that we'll gain, and how we methodologically support the students from not just the point of delivery, but also from tracking and monitoring their assessments, to also a wide range of activities within the supercurricular context where they can really enjoy and enhance their learning to a very different level level, and that really ensures that they have from a strategical point of view, they have a superb application, and more importantly, they grow in confidence. But also alongside with that, as I mentioned before, it's really important that the students are happy in achieving all these things. So the balance of the yin and yang of our welfare, very strong welfare department, is really important. And along with this, the students also build a fantastic network of opportunities amongst themselves, being able to build that friendship that lasts, a lifetime. But the student journey at their boarding houses, or if they're day students, they'll be taking part in house competitions, there are sports activities, there are 30 societies and clubs where they take part in, and they really build a really strong network of friends together. As I always say in the assemblies, the common enemy is the rest of the world, and they really sort of help each other. And the best thing about it is most of these students, well, I would say 99% of the students have not known each other before they arrive. So there are no cliques and groups and so on, because they mingle as a whole group together, and they find their own sort of groups of friends, and it's fantastic to see how they develop as people. And that's the journey of our student throughout the time at the college. We've talked a lot about Oxford International College and the successes of OIC, and also the journey at OIC and how we support our students through the 3 strands: academic excellence, career development, and personal development. But obviously we're a small school, and we are selective. We are not a recruiting school, we're a selecting school, yet we would really encourage students to apply so that we can advise you on the track that you need to be getting on. Now, alongside with this, if you are not successful in getting into OIC, we're still here to support you. We have lots of different programs that are offered to external students. For example, we run the Oxford Science Studies revision programs, where we're helping students with their academic studies during half terms, Christmas, Easter, summer. Also, we run the OIC Academy, where we help students with their personal statement, their university application, the admissions test, and so on, interview program, and we help students through ad hoc sessions throughout the year, where we can support you with your application as an external student as well. So we're here we sort of offer such a wide range of programs to both, if you are here as a student at OIC, or if you would like to enjoy some of the things that we offer to external students. So the key to my success has been really being able to understand the best of different worlds. So I grew up in Malaysia, where the education system is very different from the UK, and to be able to blend in the best practices in both countries have been absolutely phenomenal for me, and I think the ability to blend those 2 elements in has been great for all our students, regardless of where they come from, and the ability to create a climate that is very aspirational. I think it's been a great journey as well, and and I'm really hoping that the same methodology, the same sort of concept can be used all around the world. And more importantly, I think the other reason of the success is also having the right team, right people who actually share the same vision and believe in that vision is very, very important. So when I started off my career, we weren't in the position to just being able to source out what perceived to be the best teachers, in terms of the independent sector. All my teachers came from state schools, for example, when I started off my career. So I think there's a lot of perception into what is the best teacher, what is the best student, what is the best school. There's a lot of perception, and these are very historical perceptions. For example, if you go to international schools abroad, you will find that there's a huge demand of requirement of teachers coming from particular countries, and yet there is no appetite to train local talent and so on. If you look at OIC, for example, a lot of our teachers are from from different parts of the world themselves, including myself, and we have been very, very successful in achieving our fantastic results and university destination. And I think breaking the mold, going against the odds, has been really the key to success. Having the resilience to break the mold, having the resilience to be, to go against the odds and keep trying at it has been brilliant. I mean, the odds that we have broken, number one, we topped the league table not only once, but 11 years consecutively. 2 schools at number 1 of a 6th form type of education, rather than the elite traditional institutions. That is breaking the mold. Breaking the mold for international students to get into top universities for very, very competitive courses has been breaking the mold, bearing in mind that these students have not come from a platform whereby they have 7+, 11+, 13+ assessments. They're not trained from a young age on this pathway. Some of these students have never heard of G5 universities when they come, and yet we put them in a position where they're all applying to top universities. So I would like to share with you the success of our stories under this magical winning formula that we have created, in particular the integrated curriculum, the blend of the 3 strands: academic excellence, career development, and personal development. All these 3 strands are given equal weighting. These are not just ad hoc sessions built in, they're given equal weighting, and most importantly, the academic excellence is a byproduct of their passion. So I'd like to share with you some stories of students who in any other institution perhaps may have underwritten themselves or be underwritten by others. For example, Jimmy, who came with quite he didn't have a string of A stars in his GCSEs, but yet he received offers to Cambridge University, to Imperial, to study engineering. Another young man, when he first started, he was achieving C and D grades because he came from an academic background which is very different from the British qualification, and yet he went on to achieve A stars, 2 A stars and 1 A, and he's reading engineering at Imperial College London. This is a young man who didn't have the confidence to apply to G5 universities to begin with. He was very surprised when I actually said to him that you should give it a go. And there are many stories such as that. We had a young man from Albania, for example, again, had very different academic qualifications, found it really difficult in the first month because he was surrounded by others who were very good in their subject, and he was at the point where he can either strategically move with this direction or give up, and he decided to persevere. And not only did he get an offer to Cambridge to study engineering, but he also received full scholarship. So there are lots and lots of stories. Another young boy came from Malaysia, again not a top student in his school, but ended up getting for computer science at Cambridge, and he achieved 2 A stars, 2 A's at his A levels. I think it's really important to understand that actually the universities are not asking for straight A stars. Cambridge and Oxford, if you look at their prospectuses, they're not asking for straight A stars in the A levels. What they're looking for is a lot more than just academic excellence. Of course, academic is really, really important, and we have a very good system of really encouraging students to do well. But the most important thing is that all the students, when they come into this environment, to this platform, they're all given the same opportunities. We don't have an Oxbridge honors group or a medical group. Everyone is given the platform to be able to achieve. They're all champions. So they come in, they're given the expectations that they are champions, they're given the best teachers that they could have, and the teachers have the best students they could have, and given under this platform, we all work together to realize that dream.